Hello my friends, Form Racer 08 here. So you want to submit your form with AJAX? Okay, well that's what we're going to do. Let's just take a quick look at the completed project. Here's our form, simple feedback form. So let's see what happens when we press submit. Oh, we have some errors. In this one I've made all the fields required, so let's see. Let's put our name in and see what happens. Worm Racer 08. Now let's submit it again. Oh, okay, that feels good. Let's put our email in. Something at something.com. Oh, well, we gotta give them a message too. Hello, I love your form using AJAX. Oh, something's happening. Huh, thanks for your feedback, Worm Racer 08. Huh. Alright, anyway, seriously. This is what we're going to build. I'm going to show you how to add this functionality to your form. We're not going to talk about building the actual form. I'm going to show you some of the things that you need to have in your form for this to work. But don't worry, if you haven't built a form, you can use mine. I'm going to make this available for download. There's also a working demo right here at my personal website. And I'll put the link in the sidebar for the download of the zip package. So let's talk about a few things here, what we're going to need to make this happen. I'm going to assume that you've already got your form built and you're going to come back for part 2 where we're going to add the functionality to it. What we need for this is we're going to use jQuery, obviously, and its powerful functions with AJAX to validate our data on the client side to make sure they filled out the form correctly, and then submit an AJAX request to our server where we're going to process the data with PHP and send a response back to the user. Now I've built in some safeguards so that should JavaScript not be enabled in the browser, we'll still get our default submission of the action in the form attribute to the server and a response back to the client. However, it's not going to be pretty. But JavaScript is almost never disabled, so that's a light concern in my eyes. So let's take a look at the form we got. Alright, we'll jump in here to Dreamweaver. So, nothing real exciting here. Kind of just a form, you know. Couple things that you need to add to your form. Get your form all built, and then we need to have a div somewhere where above your form, in your form, I have mine in the form, that's just going to be empty, and I put a comment in there that this is where our error messages are going to go and our response from the server. Our important thing to remember is that for all of our form fields, anything that you want sent to the server needs to have the name attribute included. If the name attribute's not there, the data is not going to get sent to the server when we serialize it. So make sure you have the name attribute on all the fields that you want sent with the data to the server. I'm also going to show you how to prevent most spam. This works really well. I haven't had any problems with it. Actually, a portion of this came from my friend and contributing member at Develop PHP, this honeypot, and we'll talk more about that later. But we've got a couple hidden form fields here. You can see right here, these are hidden because we're not going to do anything with them, but they are tempting to spam bots. Well, we're not going to have the client fill these out, but they're tempting to spam bots to fill out, and then we're going to validate against that and make sure nothing's changed before we submit it to the server for server-side validation. So you say, what's this look like then? Well, let's just take a look at it. What you should have when we start part 2 is this. We've got essentially the same as what we had before, but we've got this box here. Well, what is that? That's that div, the response div. But it's not going to show up by default because we're going to hide it with jQuery before anything happens. But I didn't hide it with CSS because we want it to be there if JavaScript is turned off. Yeah. So go build your form, get your form ready, put your name attributes on all the fields that you want to send to the server. Get you a div somewhere that you want to display your error messages and your response. And then when we come back, we will start adding our jQuery and getting this thing going. So I'm thinking probably 3 parts. This one is a kind of introduction, show you what we're going to do. The second part, we'll write our jQuery to validate our form and our AJAX functionality, and the fourth part, we'll write our PHP script and finish up there. We'll talk a little bit about the CSS in the next video. Really, CSS I'm not concerned with because this is all styling for the form itself, with the exception of these 3 classes, which we will add when we start writing our jQuery, so that we can change our div color from an error message to an OK message and a processing message, so we can add a loader image and let the user know what's going on. So go build your form and get ready for part 2.